What is going on, guys? Welcome back to this episode of Generation Genius, where we talk about art, media, culture, all the things, you know what I'm saying? Every episode's a little bit different, but the key is to always just drop gems I've learned and, hey, man. Yeah. So I guess today on this episode of Generation Genius, I guess I just wanted to talk about just create art, you know what I'm saying? Not to be worried about what's going on the outside, not to be worried about views, not to be worried about any of that, but to just create art. And the reason I want to talk about that is because recently I took like a 3-month sabbatical. I really wasn't creating anything, you know what I'm saying? I was just reading my Bible more and enjoying marriage. And yeah, man, I just took a 3-month break because I personally needed it. You know, I take them every once in a while, but I think the biggest reason for just taking the break, I guess I wasn't really dealing with burnout, but I was just dealing with like, what am I going to create next? I always feel like that's a big thing that creatives and artists struggle with is like what do I make next? Like, I feel like I've made my best piece. I feel like I've made my best dance. I feel like I've made my best video. I made my best song. And what happens is like you're dropping you're dropping your art form and you're working so hard at it. And then you drop it and then like you don't get the views you want on it. Something I'm guilty of. I'm like, dang, I didn't get the views I want on this. I didn't get the streams I want on this song. And I just feel like discouraged. You know what I mean? And feeling discouraged is way different from not being shaken. Because I feel like when you feel discouraged, you're just kind of like, dang, I'm discouraged and I don't know what to do next. I want to do something. I don't know what it is. I think like getting knocked off is like, yo, this is not going to work. And that is something that as creatives, you have to stop saying is like, this isn't going to work. And this isn't going to work and I should give up. Because I think giving up means you lose. I think every single person where it shows that people that are film directors and musicians and people that I've always looked up to, no matter how many years it took them or no matter how hard it was, they just did not give up. And something I'm learning too is like, man, I've worked so many crappy jobs and I've sacrificed so much of my time and my life to art, to music, to dancing, to putting my paintbrush on canvas, and I've sacrificed so much of my time, but I would do it over and over again because no matter how many crappy jobs I work or no matter how hard the days get, I know that art is something that I can always fall to, and it's my plan A. You know what I mean? I feel like my plan B would probably be like, I don't really know. I don't really have a plan B, and that's just me. You know what I'm saying? People can agree and disagree with that, but I feel like my plan A is always being a creative, and I feel like to a lot of people that's insane, right? But also I think also being an artist is insane. Like, it's like, this isn't working, let me try something else. 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 And then you finally get to a place where you're like, okay, this isn't working, let me try something else. And you just go through it. But I think that no matter, the beautiful thing is that no matter how much things I make, or even if the next video I drop gets 5 views, I'm never ever stopping. You know what I mean? I'm never stopping. And I think that's something we have to learn as creatives, is to just never stop and pick up your pen even when you don't write anything. Write something funny. Write your first movie. Write your first song. Write your first, just create something. If you feel like you're losing, you're not. And this is just an encouragement to say that. If you feel like you're losing as a creative, and if you feel like you're losing as an artist, you're not losing. One thing you have to stop doing too is just stop listening to the opinions of others when it comes to your art and your craft. If you're sweating and pouring in every single ounce of your being into something, then why would you let somebody that can't even do what you do affect your craft and affect your art? You know what I mean? And I think there's, of course, on one side, there's making things that just sound awful. But then on the opposite side of that, it's making something that sounds good to you and something that is like, oh no, I'm really putting my time to this. This sounds great. Like, I don't sound the same way I did 5 years ago. This painting doesn't look the same way it did 5 years ago, or if I would have painted it 5 years ago. And I'm advancing and growing. And that's really what also being an artist is. Being an artist isn't about how successful you are to the world. Being an artist also is about how successful you are to you. You know what I mean? How successful you are to you. Like, wow, my paint game is fire. My music game has gotten up there. Like, I'm dancing better. I'm a better author. And part of that is really just putting that work in. But like, just create. You know what I mean? Like, do not worry about how others feel about your craft. Don't let people tell you that college is for you, or don't let people discourage you if they say like, hey man, like, don't let people discourage you. just discouragement is the worst, bro. Like, discouragement is the worst. If it's your God-given gift, and if it is your passion, you know what I'm saying? Your passion always leads to your purpose as well. But if it's your passion as well, like, just don't. I think I feel it in my bones lately because this season has been really rough for me in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, this season's been really rough for me job-wise, and going into a really crappy 9-to-5 and then coming home and trying my best to exert as much energy as I can into my craft. But the thing is, like, no matter if it was 3 hours of sleep, I'm going to come home and I'm going to work. I'm going to keep dropping because nobody's going to discourage me. And I think another thing that's funny is, like, let's say I drop something tomorrow. Actually, no, let's be honest. I'll be even more transparent. I dropped something yesterday, or I dropped a dance video yesterday. I had like nine likes. I looked at it and was like, sweet, I'm going to just drop another one. Oh, that has 6 likes. Sweet, I'm going to drop another one. And every 2 to 3 months, I reanalyze. But I also check my analytics for my consistency. And my analytics are up like 300%. You know what I mean? My analytics are up 300%. My YouTube views are up this amount. My TikTok, I like it. Those small steps into just making your art and then releasing your art, it feels like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like it's not working, but I promise you, with that consistency of just making and dropping and making and dropping, you see a difference. You know what I mean? You start seeing more DMs from people you may admire. You start seeing more likes people you admire. You start seeing, like, giving this to God. Here, this is my gift. And you start seeing, like, oh snap, like something's cooking. Like, you feel it in here, like something's cooking. But when you don't feel in here is when you just, like, give up and stop making art. And then you're looking at everybody like, how come this isn't bubbling? How come this isn't working? It's because, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes the best way to cook the bacon is to start the fire beneath it. You know what I mean? And just get that little bit of sizzle in it. It's not always good to just put the bacon in the pan and wait for it to cook, because how are you going to cook bacon without the fire? You have to just make things. Don't worry about art is so subjective anyway, but don't worry about if everybody else loves it or hates it, because people are going to love or hate things anyway. That is, like, something you cannot control. Like, people love or hate anything you do. They're either gonna love you forever or hate you forever, and that is something that you just cannot. You have no control over how people react. What you can do is take in all the people that love you and keep feeding to the people that support you. I have another song, right? I had a song. I think it has, like, I dropped a song today, and I think it has like 3 streams so far, but I always think, like, in a year that song could have 1 million streams. That year that song's gonna have 2 million streams. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about. It's a marathon. Artists, people, creatives. It is a marathon. You are running a marathon. You can go buy fake streams or buy fake views if you want to, or just drop, like, videos that you know are gonna get views, or drop something that you know is gonna get views. But what's the point? Like, you don't want views. You're in a marathon. You know what I'm saying? You are in a marathon. I dropped a video when I was 19. I dropped a video when I was like 19 or 20. Yeah, I dropped the video like 19 or 20. It had, like, no views at all. Like, none. Come to find out, during the pandemic, I look back at it, this video hits 30,000 views. And it's like one of my top videos. You know what I'm saying? That's 6 years. And I wasn't expecting, because I was dropping the next one and dropping the next one. Same thing with the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a song. I dropped Lost at Sea last October, right? Lost at Sea. If you guys haven't heard that song by me featuring J. Marie, amazing, phenomenal artist and voice. Anyway, that song, like, the second city it's the biggest in is, like, Chile. You know what I mean? And I never expect, like, it's like, I think it's doing like 30. I think it does like 30, 40 streams in a month, and those streams are small, but it's like somebody's listening. Somebody is listening to this. Somebody's watching these videos. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? You just got to drop and repeat, and just create, drop, repeat. That is the formula. Create, drop, repeat, because it works. It just works. You know what I mean? This podcast, you know what I'm saying? It's streamed second the most. It's streamed first is America, and 2 and 3. I forgot where they were exactly, but it's just like, yo, somebody's listening to this. And that one fan, I'm a big believer in just like one fan a day. Like, Oh, I got a new follower today. I got a new follower tomorrow. Even if it's only one follower a day, in a year you have 365 new followers and people that mess with you. And that over 3 to 5 years is amazing. And my brain never thinks about tomorrow. My brain is always 4 or 5 years in advance as far as consistency goes. You know what I mean? And I think that something I'm learning too is I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to this podcast and he was just saying how you could beat him in probably talent, but you'll never beat him in consistency and hard work. And like, nobody's going to drop as many videos as me. Nobody's going to teach as many classes as me. Nobody's going to drop as many songs as me. Like, you might be more talented than me, but my work ethic is going to outwork you. I'm reading 50 Cent's book and he says the same thing. Like, there's way better rappers than him. But 50 was like, man, I'm in the first one in the gym and I'm passionate about my work, and that work ethic is insane. And I think that part of being an artist is you have to be excited about your work ethic. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people try to downplay being a creative, but being a creative is just as much work as working a regular job, if not more, because you're your brand, you're your office, you're your everything. So yeah, man, I think that is really, really important. Another thing that is really important when you are just want to drop and create art and dropping it is like, you have to have the confidence to know that this is going to work, and if it doesn't, I can make something else. The confidence factor is the confidence should be considered an X factor. If your confidence is high, oh man, like I told you guys, back to me, like with dropping and feeling like I don't have a lot of views, or TikTok, I'm dropping it, it's like, oh, that's 8 views. So what, bro? Like, so what? I'll drop 50. Listen, hey man, I'll drop 50 shots right now and miss all of them. But that 51st shot is gonna be the million views I need. The 51st shot is gonna be the brand deal I need. The 51st shot is gonna be the movie deal I need. The song that hits 2 million streams. The video, the dance video that helps me tour. You know what I'm saying? There's who cares? This podcast, this episode could hit 30,000 downloads. You know what I'm saying? And my life has changed. And that's how I operate. I operate as if my life could change tomorrow from how hard I work. But the only person that can control how hard they're working is me. And of course you should get sleep. But I read something really good. I forgot the quote exactly, but it basically says, it's God's job to give you the gift, but it's your job to walk in the gift. Or was it? Yeah, I think that was it. Something like that. Basically, it's just saying like, you pray, right? Let's say I'm praying to God, hey God, I really want this, blah, 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 blah. And God's like, all right, it's done. But where those feet at? You know what I'm saying? Or, God, I really need a job. There's jobs outside. God, I really need that bag. The bag's outside. God, blah, 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 blah. Yo, the hustle has to be real, artists. So that's what I encourage you, man. Just create art. Do your thing. Because man, oh man, I believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Believe in you more than everybody else does. Like, your vision has to be so clear that nobody cannot. My dog's over there licking herself. Hope she don't got ticks on her leg. I'm just playing. But anyway, the vision has to be so clear. Once the vision and the goals are clear, you better run for it, bro. Run for it. And I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not famous. I'm nowhere where I want to be yet, but I am always shooting for growth and to be the best me. So just create. Just create art. I'll see you guys later. This has been Generation Genius. Make sure you click like and subscribe if you have not yet, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.